can relax a while. Take some time to laugh and smile. Baby, we can do it. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. Do it, baby. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Love, I feel for you. You feel for me. One life is all we have to live. Our love is all we have to give. There are so many things for us to see. Let's take some time to be alone. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it tonight. Lay your head and slow down so we can stop and kick back. Do it, baby. Sit back and relax a while. Take some time to laugh and smile. There are so many things for us to see. It's the time to do it right. Life is all we have to live. Our love is all we have to give. Baby, we can do it. Baby, we can do it. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Love, I feel for you. You feel for me. One life is all we have to live. Our love is all we have to give. Lay your hips and slow down so we can stop and kick back. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. Baby, we can do it. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it tonight. Baby, we can do it. It's the time to do it right. Do it, baby. Do it tonight.
Friends, do we have any friends? was playing too. There's no way out. Got to get away. There's no way out. You didn't know. I was playing too. There's no way out. Now let's see if they're ready or not. I was playing too. You'll slip up one of these days.
OMG. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. It's been like 3 weeks at least, maybe longer, since I streamed last, and I really missed you guys, and I kinda don't know what I'm doing anymore, trying to get everything ready. I hate the lighting in here. It is not I'm not happy, but I just didn't have time to, like, make it all perfect. Not that it was ever perfect before. I mean, if you've watched this show, you know it's definitely not perfect. But what is perfect is you're here, I'm here. This is so much fun. This is D&B Q&A with me, Curly. Um, every Tuesday when the world has not frozen over and my power is out and I'm not moving. Um, every Tuesday that's not one of those, I get somebody to come on. We talk for 2 hours. We have a conversation. We see where it goes. So far, it's been super fun. Everybody's had a great time. I sure have had a great time. You guys all seem to have fun. So that's amazing. Saturdays, we do other stuff. In fact, the next 2 Saturdays, we have some special stuff going on, which is super cool. Normally, it's just me blabbing for 2 hours, which is weird, but people show up and that's fun. Um, yeah, so let's see. I guess I can say hi to some people in here. Ellis, good to see you. Urban Ghost, man, you were like, it was you, me, and Charlie. You were here right from the tippity top. Thank you so much for being here. John Tetley, thank you. That little tune, that dumb little tune, is one of mine that was playing right before I came in here. Um, it's a dumb little tune off my newest EP, Dumb Little Tunes, and but it was mastered by the one and only John Tetley, who did a great job on the master of my dumb little tune. He made it sound a little smarter. So yeah, hey Gypsy Kid, good to see you, man. I'm so glad you're here. Wicked to have some more Pacific folks on the stream. I have to tell you, I've been thinking about that a lot in the last few weeks. That even though Twitch is, really heavily dominated by sort of North America and like Central South America, so like sort of the Pacific all the way to like Eastern time zones is like really Twitch is really dominated by those time zones. But even though that's the case, I still feel like I don't know a lot and get to see a lot or hang out with a lot of the Pacific folks because I'm up every morning at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And so, midnight for them is 2 a.m. for me. And yeah, my old self can't handle that kind of lack of sleep. So I'm really glad to have Charlie here tonight, who is from the lovely Pacific time. And it's good to see you other Pacific folks in here because I don't get to hang out with you enough. You're all awesome whenever I do get to hang out with you. So getting to chat with you is fantastic. Hey, Munchie. Good to see you. I am well, thank you. So yeah, okay. So 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to have DJ Roxanne on, right? Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but we had a bit of a situation here in Texas 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so the whole power grid damn near went out for the whole state, and, yeah, me included. Uh, yeah, it was a long time without power. It was very cold. So there was no streaming, which that was actually the saddest part to me when I finally got enough blankets on me. I was warm enough to be very sad that I missed the stream. But the good news is that uh, Roxanne is coming on the 16th of March. So she will be here in 2 Tuesdays. So we will get to talk to her. She is also on the Pacific Coast. So I'm super glad that I was able to reschedule that with her. That's going to be a great time. Um, so, yeah, something just came up in the comments. But before we talk about that, which we will, um, before we talk about that, let's talk about who else we have coming up. So it just occurred to me that I should have brought the image up here. Anyway, I posted it on the Discord, which, by the way, let me put that up in the chat. Oh, wait, hold up, stop everything. No use for anger. Thank you so much for the sub. You are amazing. Um, for so many reasons. But pause, hold the phone, everyone. Can we talk about the fact that here, right here with us right now, we have the very latest in the Twitch drum and bass community partners. Catch 22, the mayor of drum and bass. He is now a partner. And howdy, partner. We're so glad to have you. I'm so glad you're here with us. I'm so glad I spent an entire, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe on that Photoshop because that's how happy I am that you are now a partner. So we are so excited for you. Uh, so happy to have you with that little purple check next to your name. Clock is purple check, y'all. He's legit. He's the real deal. The mayor is now official. Let's hope it doesn't go to his head. Um, the other cool thing is that No Use for Anger, because he's a partner, now he also has a team. And guess what? I was so happy when he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. I said, hell yes. I was hoping you would ask. I couldn't say yes fast enough. There is a link right there to the entire 1134 team. I'm so happy to be a part of it. I just could not be more ecstatic for our man No Use for Anger. And I don't think there's anyone on Twitch whose team I would rather be a part of. So, Catch, we, yes, like Lexi just said, you are so deserving of it. And we all benefit from you being who you are and what you give to this community. I think we would be hard pressed to find a stream in the drum and bass community here that we know of that you have not helped to make better in some way. So we love you. Yes, we all got partnered. Absolutely. I keep forgetting, that I can do that thing with that I can do that thing through StreamYard where I can clickety clack and make something come up. But yeah, there it is. We all got partnered. We sure did. That's exactly how I felt when you told me last night that I was like, I mean, I don't think I could have been happier unless I had gotten partnered. And honestly, I don't know that I want to be a partner. So I think I'm even happier that you're a partner than I would be if I was a partner. So, um, so yeah, super excited, really, really happy. And yeah, we love you. We're so glad you're here. Hey, Charlie, thanks for that sub. You're already participating just by being here, but you subbing is freaking awesome. I love that. Um, yeah. So, okay. So we talked about the team 1134. let's talk about the Discord because, guys, we can actually talk about uh, this this stuff, all of this show, these people, questions we want to ask them, people we want to have come on, weird things you want me to do, whatever, uh, on the 1134 Discord, which I just put a link to that in the chat. So please, by all means, come join us. Um, you don't have to be a member of 12 million Discords, but this is a good one to be in if you don't want to be in 12 million because there's a lot that goes on there. You can get a lot of good info. Um, so, yeah, real quick, let's talk about what's coming up. So, we've got Charlie tonight. On Saturday, me and my friend Wes, if you guys saw the Wes dub, he came on at the end of December. He was my last guest of 2020. And he's my old friend from Dallas and told great stories. Well, guess what? He's coming on Saturday and he is going to teach me or attempt to teach me what the current subgenres of jungle and drum and bass are. So I don't know. I'm going to find out if footwork is actually a thing and what the difference between breakcore and I don't know is something whatever, but it's going to be super interactive. So uh, we plan on doing like little polls. So like he's going to play something. This is kind of what we're thinking. He's going to play something. I have to try and guess from like a multiple choice what genre, what subgenre it's in. We're going to ask you guys through a poll, and then we're going to find out together. That way we can see how wrong I am and if the chat actually comes to agreement on what all these subgenres are. Yes, Munchie, it's all hardcore. That's really the way to go. We need to get back to that term because that's just everything, right? Um, so yeah, we're doing that on Saturday at 7 a.m. Central. It's going to be dope. Then the 9th, next Tuesday, Gouda D&B is going to be here. Super, super excited for that. Then on the 13th, the next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central, Gouda's going to be on again as a part of his Make a Change fundraiser that he is doing. He's going to shave all his hair off, and I think I'm the last person he talks to before he goes and does his stream and shaves his head. So that's going to be really cool. I'm super glad to be a part of that. It's fun. Then the 16th of March, DJ Roxanne is going to be here, making up for the fact that I was not able to have her here 2 Tuesdays ago. So yeah, so winter should be over now. I've already moved, so you guys should be stuck with me pretty solidly until the end of forever. But one more thing is coming up, and there's a timer going off about it, and it went on a minute ago. So my birthday is at the end of April, and between now and through the end of April, to celebrate my birthday, I am doing a fundraiser. It is for two very important mental health charities in the U.S. It's for NAMI, um, and of course, I should know what NAMI stands for, and it's completely flown out of my head. But uh, uh, so in the US, we're going to raise funds for NAMI. And then I wanted to pick a UK organization as well because that's the other country that I feel like the most of you guys come from. The charity I picked from there is called Mind, and it is another mental health charity as well. So that is a cause that is near and dear to my heart. I'll probably be talking about that more as time goes on, but so there are links that are going to come up on a timer. I also just posted the links there as well. Basically, you can donate wherever you want. If you want to donate to the US charity, you click the link for the US one. If you want to donate to the UK charity, you click the link for the UK one. Cool, awesome, great. But also, so you know, any money that I get from Twitch between now and the end of April is all going to be donated to NAMI. So if I can figure out some way to like do some kind of percentage, I'll try maybe to split between the two charities, but for sure, probably most of it is going to go to NAMI. And basically, uh, you know, like I don't need anything. I'm really fortunate. I kept my job in 2020. Um, I don't need gifts. I would much rather be a part of raising funds for organizations like NAMI and Mind that not only are helping people with mental illness at all times, but in this very particular time that we find ourselves in, a lot more people are unfortunately learning what it's like to live with depression and anxiety and other, mental health type situations. And I think one of the other reasons that I really want to focus on those charities is because we need to normalize the conversation around mental health. Um, the pandemic has been bullshit. It has been horrible, but it has certainly brought to light the fact that if things are off in your mind, they make everything else harder. And it is a good opportunity to shine a light on issues around mental health. So that's why I want to do that. Um, got a other couple other fun things planned for the birthday stream, but I don't have everything finalized yet. So uh, stay tuned. You'll hear more about that as time goes on. But yeah, so basically from now to the end of April, everything is going to NAMI in mind. So awesome. Um, let's talk about our guest because I want to get him in here. That's who this show's supposed to be about, not about me. Um, and your moms, by the way, twins. I need to know. Like, we need to talk. I need to know if we have the same birthday because that's possible. Um, hey, Darth, thank you so much for that sub, buddy. You're amazing. You don't need my emotes. You got some of the best emotes in the game, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. So, Urban Ghost, thank you for the sub. No use for anger. Thank you. Charlie, thank you for the sub. Gosh, man, all you needed to do was show up today. You sure didn't need to sub. And yes, Darth Liquid, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here and for your follows and all of that. The fact that you guys come and you show up means that I get to keep doing this and I love doing it. So I really appreciate you for that. Um, so tonight my guest is Charlie Eon. So Charlie Eon, in case you didn't know, is a founding member of 160 BPM Anonymous. He streams from an island so tiny and remote, it only has one Starbucks. Can you believe that? I didn't think there was any place on earth that only had one Starbucks. Um, but his internet is so fast, he could stream 50 live streams if he wanted to. But he would probably need to find 49 more GPUs, and that even a millionaire can't find 49 GPUs right now, I don't think. To call Charlie a jungle DJ would leave so much out, and I really hope we get to talk about a lot of that tonight. So let me go ahead and bring him in, and we will get started.
Oh no.
Charlie, hey,
Hello.
hello. Oh my God. Sorry, I did not expect that to go on as long as it did, but here we are. Um, I guess it took longer to introduce the charities than I thought. But yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, how are you, dude? We were talking earlier, but are you still good?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. Happy to be here.
Good. Hey, guys, can you hear Charlie all right? I'm assuming you can hear me since you let me talk for 15 minutes and didn't say you couldn't hear me. Um, so, yeah. Oh my gosh, Urban Ghost, thank you for the bits. Thank you so much for the bits.
All
I
right.
appreciate
T-Bone,
that. Oh, hey, T-Bone. All right, they can hear you. Wicked. Awesome. Okay, Charlie. So now I'm trying to think. What was that other thing that I said I was going to ask you about? I know the one thing I wanna start with, but okay. While I'm trying to find that other thing, tell me about this island because, like, all I've heard about the island is that it is remote and not very populated, and somewhere off the Pacific coast of the US. Go.
All right, so I live on Orcas Island, which is in the San Juan County, which is a archipelago, or however you pronounce that.
Mhm.
That's built, not built, but formed of four main islands. That's Orcas, San Juan Island, and Lopez Island. And then there's Shaw Island in the middle, but only a group of nuns live there. So Shaw's kind of an afterthought. But yeah, we live on this tiny island. So it's really quiet here. It's really nice. Unless what's funny is whenever my neighbor is following me on Twitch, so whenever he gets a notification that I'm streaming, he steps outside to listen. He doesn't tune in. He goes outside.
Oh, that is small town America. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that.
I love it. So let's just mention, as DJ Spade pointed out, Nun Island sounds like a hot spring break destination. Like, totally sounds like keggers and unintentional passing out.
We'll have
Sure.
none of that. Yeah.
None of that. None of that. Okay. All right. So tell them what you told me last night about how fast your internet is.
So I have a gigabit symmetrical, so 1 gigabit upstream and 1 gigabit downstream. I can get an upgrade to 10 gigabits, but I really don't even have a use for the gigabit yet. So, and that's my job is I work for the network operations team for the ISP. So I'm one of 3 people that help monitor to make sure everything's working properly.
Nice.
And so,
Nice.
so yeah, I got my fiber the day after lockdown, so it was perfect timing for me.
Yeah.
Lockdown sucks, but yeah, it was perfect timing. The rest of my team are pretty envious because they have to deal with LTE internet connections, and every time I talk about fiber, they're like, but it's cool.
So I'm sitting here laughing to myself, listening to your dog bark because you
You go get her.
you threw a little shade about that your dog is quiet, unlike Golden Child's dog.
Yeah.
And boy, that's come back on you, man. Like,
We have a team of people taking down some dead trees, and whenever there's a stranger outside, yeah, she barks.
yes, love it. Hey, good to see you so much, Ben. Glad you're here, and thank you for the sub. Gosh, you guys are amazing. 3 months in a row. Wow, I've been doing the show for 3 months. That's crazy. 2020, man. Who
We
knew?
love you.
I never would have thought I would be streaming. So, here we are. Okay, so before I go into the next question, which I know is going to take us on an amazing rabbit trail, what made you decide to start streaming?
Okay, so I was a rave DJ back. So let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
I started. Well, my love for electronic music started in about '92. I actually did not like electronic music at all, and I started going to this alternative high school, and when we had these, basically we were allowed to go on smoke breaks. So every lunch we would go to this place and smoke, and I got in the car and it's like, hey, listen to this tape, and it was an artist name called Eon,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an album called Void Dweller, and it was this amazing. It's not really techno. I don't really know what to call it. I would call it rave music, but that was
Mhm.
before I had actually experienced a rave, and I would
Mhm.
actually really would love to hear that music in a rave setting.
Yeah.
But it got me hooked on electronic music, and I spent so much time in what was it, Silver Platters or something, trying to find good electronic music, and I couldn't find anything that was nearly as good as this until I stumbled upon the Speed Limit 140 BPM. It was the old school London hardcore techno one. It was the first two, and that's when I first heard the Amens and just that old school sound, and I was totally hooked. And I would get comments on how much my car, because whenever you've seen me stream, whenever I'm listening to music, I'm going crazy. I can't stop moving to it.
Yes.
You're behind me pulling out of the community college. You'll see my car bouncing up and down because that bass is kicking. And, God, I thought I turned those notifications off. Okay. Technology.
No big deal. We're all family here.
Yeah, so it wasn't until 1998. So that I graduated in 1994. That was when I was listening to that music. But it wasn't until 1998 that I actually started. I had a friend who was collecting vinyl, and I started buying records too. And it was this record label named Eve Records, and it's the artist behind Eve Records was Pablo Gargano, and it was mainly like trance and hard trance. And a funny story is my daughter's initials are Eve because I got to choose her name.
Aww.
You don't let me do that. Yeah. So the two record labels that I was a total label whore. It was Eve Records, Hooge Tunes, and then Platypus. And the Hooge Tunes.
Oh yes, T-Bone has thrown down the gauntlet.
There's the
There
Hooge
it is.
Tunes. And
you were telling me there it is. There's the tattoo. That's a trance label, right?
But that's also a DJ dancing behind the decks. So that's me.
It's perfect for you.
That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, T-Bone. I'm not gonna ban him for having a trance label tattooed on his chest. I'm just gonna make fun of him behind his back.
Well, I remember when I was a trance DJ, and everyone was telling me, "Oh, trance DJs always end up as drum and bass DJs. Like they always end up moving over to drum and bass." And I was like, "No, that's not right." And so I went from like really fluffy progressive trance to breaks, and then got kind of sick of the whole DJ game, trying to get gigs, because in Seattle there's pretty much only one trance DJ that was getting booked to play the kind of trance that I liked, and there was a Paul Oakenfold CD called Transport, and that was the one me and my then girlfriend turned wife was totally hooked on, and that's what I got started with. But it wasn't until 2009 or 2009, someone turned me on to that classic dubstep, that classic scream benga kind of stuff, and then I got. Let me go back. Okay, so 2002. After getting sick of the whole DJ game, my ex talked me into, I don't know why, selling my turntables. So I sold my turntables. She was trying to get me to sell my vinyl, but I did not. No, I wouldn't do that. And yeah, so it was about 2009. I got turned on to that classic dubstep, the scream benga, plastician, and was given the opportunity to borrow a pair of CDJs, and I still have that pair of CDJs now. And I started playing.
Borrow.
Yeah, borrow. It was kind of like a borrow to buy kind of situation.
Nice.
Yeah, and just I started playing. I started with the dubstep, but then I was turned on to bassline house, which is kind of like the evolution of speed garage.
Okay.
Speed garage. Excuse me. Mind the gap. Um, uh, and so that was my first gig after coming back was a bassline house at Club Contour in Seattle. And it was only because of this one club in Seattle, Club Motor, that had an open decks every Wednesday. So every Wednesday I religiously went and played the open decks. And there was this DJ, her name was Tiger Lily, and she was playing on vinyl, but it was hardcore, but it was the hardcore with lots of amens in it.
Yes.
And I fucking love that stuff. But that reminded me of that old school sound. It's like, oh my God, I forgot about that. So that night I went home, and unfortunately, yes, I was on Beatport. So I went to Beatport. I went to Moving Shadow, sorted the release date from oldest to newest, and found almost all those tracks in WAV format. It's like, okay, I've got the old school back. And it was about that time that someone turned me on to a drum and bass artist called Dexel, and there was this one track. It's kind of liquid, but it's called New Memory, and it's liquid, but it gets to a point where the breakdown is that old school beat,
Nice.
and then it's like liquid with the old school beat, and I started just loving I guess it would be spinning because I was still using CDs at the time. I can't call it spinning anymore because it's now flashing. It's flashing. It's like what?
No moving parts.
Yeah, no moving parts. Yeah, so that's when I started playing drum and bass. In addition to the bassline house, and
So that was in 2008?
2010.
Oh, 2010. Okay.
Yeah, 2010, 2011, and then I was able to get some bookings at the Drum and Bass Tuesdays in Seattle, playing that. Usually opening gigs because that was my favorite because you could be more creative and play the prettier stuff and just build it up. But then I did this radio interview on C89.5, and I think I gave a bit too much information because I stopped getting any bookings after that. And it wasn't until I started embracing the hardcore scene and playing UK hardcore, not the old school happy hardcore, but the newer kind of electrocore kind of stuff, that I was starting to get rave bookings, which is what I prefer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
drum and bass nights at clubs are fucking amazing, but I'd much rather play at a rave than play a non-drum and bass club night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made quite a trip to get to that point. Like, so I don't like electronic music. I heard this guy Eon, and yeah, that was cool. I'm a trance DJ, and not just trance, progressive trance DJ. To breaks to I'm trying to see if I get all the threads here. To breaks to bassline house to hearing a girl play old school hardcore, and that's it. Boom, done, sold.
Yeah.
You're full send. That's it.
Back on track. Yes.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
my last name is Eon because of that. My ex-wife did not want to be Dr. Watson. That was my last name before. Um,
Ah,
she did not want to be Dr. Watson. So I got my name legally changed to Eon before
mhm.
we got married.
No way.
Yeah, and
That's amazing.
unfortunately, that's my real name, Charlie Eon. I've been trying to find a good an alternate name that's not my actual name, but I stuck with this one. I did come up with the Dread Pirate Robot, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can relate. That's how you end up with the DJ name of Curly, because you
And I
can't
like when
think of
you call
anything better.
me Eon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Um, okay, so I did remember the thing I was going to ask you about. Um, yeah, let's just dive into this. Oh wait, no, come on. We got on that track because I asked you what made you decide to start streaming. So let's get back
Okay,
to
so
that.
the streaming. Well, I moved to Orcus, which has no scene
Hmm.
at all. I
Sounds like it doesn't have much of anything.
No, we had one venue, and it got sold to a manufacturing about 2 or 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So we don't have any nightlife here.
Wow. Wow.
The nightlife before was all, can you play hip hop? They didn't even really, house wasn't even, they wanted hip hop,
Hmm.
and trap worked, which I did not want to play trap, but I had, sometimes I had to, because that's in in this situation it was like, play what the people want. I don't want to do that. I would play what
Right.
I want. Of course, if I'm streaming and people want to hear something that I have and I want to play it, I'm going to play it. But yeah, so I moved here, got some gigs at that venue that sold, played hip hop, and whenever I got the chance, I would do like 40 minutes of actual mixing inside of that 3 hour whatever. Just that little bit of actual mixing made me happy, but it wasn't. It did not fill the void. Um, it was when that place closed. I was like, oh, I'll start streaming on Facebook. And Facebook, while it was fun, and it was also fun to, when you walked around in town, like, oh yeah, I watched you on Facebook the other night. That was great. And I was like, thank you. But Facebook, like, you play it and they mute you automatically. You don't. They mute you while you're playing. It was awful. And then there was there's this guy, his DJ name is Super K, and his channel Spin Spin Super, and he's like, hey, you want to come play on my channel? And so I'm actually a resident on his channel, and that was back in like February or something like that of last year. um, and it wasn't until then that he taught me some of the the Luma key, which is what I use to put the visuals on my channel,
Mhm.
and just tips and tricks to how to use OBS, and um, and then, but it was that momentous occasion, the finding the 916. Well, actually, so let me go back. So there started with the first channel I saw, drum and bass channel, was T-Mox.
Mhm.
Then I'm pretty sure it was No Use for Anger. Then Special Ed. Um, and then it was the 916 Junglist channel and Inside the Ride. And I started going to pretty much all the big up man like deep. I started going to all the 916 Junglists. Like I didn't chime in on the first few DJs not DJing that I went to, but then I started joining the Zoom, and it just started feeling like I was in this community. And it wasn't until that faithful night, that someone in the chat, Mr. John Tetley, threw down the most amazing set that I've ever heard on 916 Junglist that opened my mind and my eyes that the old school sound is still alive and well. Um, and it was tuning into his streams back when he didn't like block off all the part, like you could actually read his track names and everything.
You can still read the track names, but only of what's playing.
Right, and that's great. That's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was he was playing some Sonny and Deck Hussy or something like that, and I started investigating. Like, oh yeah, that's Night Force, and I started really regretting not having. I mean, I think 4 drum and bass vinyl records. Like I have one that's the Icarus. Icarus. No, that's not it. Icarus, and then I have one that's the Lord of the Null Lines remixes from Night Force. And then I was perusing the Night Force website, and all the stuff you can buy is you buy the digital, and they send you the vinyl afterwards. Because I didn't know that. The first time I bought something, I was like, why did that cost me $70? And then I was okay with it. But then when the vinyl came in the mail, I'm like, oh, that's why. But now it's like I purposely go and buy the vinyl and the digital because I do want to start playing records again, because that was my first love. I was a vinyl purist for 7 years. I talked shit about people playing CDs. I talked shit about people using laptops. I don't do that. I don't talk shit anymore because I'm using a laptop. I'm I don't have a place to talk bad about what other people are doing, as long as they're. I mean, I would maybe talk shit about fake people, but I don't know. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, it's changed a lot. Like the whole sort of the general attitude to it certainly has changed. Like when I was still DJing, like sync technology was just starting to become a thing, but it was the kind of thing that you really only had like on a computer, not
Yeah.
like a controller. And then DVS was kind of new back then, but like, oh my God, talk to a bunch of fucking miserable 20 something junglists who are spinning vinyl about sync, and whoa, like just, I mean, nightmare. But now I look and I see what people are like, what controllers can do for you, like what they can free you to do is amazing. But also, who I'm 46 years old almost. I don't want to
Yeah.
lug around tons of records when I could carry a laptop instead. I
Because I
mean,
think my ideal setup would be one of those S11s and 2 Rain 12s. So at least you have that tactile vinyl
mhm,
feel,
mhm,
but you can still have your digital. But like what No
yeah,
Use for Anger said, is that it's so impersonal now. You just read track names.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
and when you have 5,000 track names, it's really hard to find the one you want. Um, and that's. I
You
mean,
know that.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish.
For a while, when I first started back mixing, of course, I planned out like almost all my sets. But that was for recording to upload to SoundCloud, and I
Mhm.
think, and then for 5 or so years, it's like, no, I'm not supposed to be planning my sets. I'm just gonna play off the cuff, and
Mhm.
um, but now I'm back to where if I am gonna play on someone else's stream, I'm gonna put together the music I want to play. I'm not gonna I'm not going to put it in the exact order. I'm just going to put it by the energy. Like I start out
Mhm.
chill, build up a bit, like have the peak, and then go back down and kind of have the spacey and space out in the end. Um, but yeah, that's
Yeah, I think the personal thing is a big that's a really cool point, I think, to touch on, in that to touch on, in that, yeah, like the tactile experience of owning a record makes it more personal. The feel of it in your hand, the weight of it, the visual of what the sleeve looks like when it's in your, when it's in your crate, the knowing where it's placed in your, in your collection. All of that is really personal. But also, when you mention that, I don't know anybody who, back when I was buying vinyl and vinyl was it, I don't know anyone who literally could buy every vinyl they wanted.
yeah,
Um, it was too expensive and it was not all available. So you had to make choices about what to get. And that automatically elevated your collection
yeah,
because, it was like, okay, well, there's 10 records here I want to buy. I've only got money for 5. So I want my 5 favorite. Whereas now tunes are cheap or free, and um, it's really easy to become, I think, like a digital hoarder in that kind of situation. You end
yeah,
up having a bunch of tunes that you maybe have never even listened to, or maybe you listen to it long enough to find out you don't like it really that much.
yeah,
And so then you're sifting through all of that, trying to find, a file, a name, and you have to know the name. It's not just, oh, what was that vinyl in the red sleeve? I'll know it when I see it. Um, and
exactly.
like that sounds old school and like it would take longer. Like, of course, how could a computer be slower? But something about that random access memory in the human being of the visual. But yeah, and it's harder to know all of your records when you have thousands of digital files.
Exactly.
Oof.
And just I only buy WAV files because it's
Mhm,
lossless. I wish I would have known about AIFF before
mhm.
my entire collection was WAV, because then I'd have more space and the ability to tag all my music. Every time I reboot or turn Bun Serato off, um, it loses all my cues and everything. So I have to every time I have to like re-queue everything, and it's a real pain in the ass. Apple's really doesn't make things easy in that respect. Yeah, they make stable machines, but it is a pain. And I had to actually go and delete all the non-drum and bass music off my laptop because I had run out of space. It's like, okay, I just bought a bunch of stuff off Night Force, went to Bandcamp, bought a bunch of stuff, and okay, now my drive's full. And I wake up in the morning, oh, you've got 1 gigabyte free. Yeah, it's time to clean off
Oof.
that stuff I would play at weddings and uh, stuff like that. Yeah, there's some drawbacks, but I mean the vinyl would be pretty amazing to have, but there's
Mhm.
also having to take care of the vinyl, the storage. If I had space and one of those cool uh, things like you see behind lots of vinyl DJs, you'll see the racks of vinyl behind them,
Yes.
like Golden Child has. If
Yes.
I had some more of that, maybe I'd probably like to utilize it, but I haven't even got any of the vinyl. I've been purchasing from Night Force for since last March, and I haven't got any of the vinyl yet because of pandemic shipping snafus.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and let's just say that for all its flaws, digital does make it more accessible to actually mix, which is awesome. That means that we can hear you mix, and you don't have to actually own physical copies of all those records.
Yes.
So,
Even though I'd love
yeah,
to.
absolutely. I don't know if they would all fit on your island, but
It might make us sink.
there you go. Okay, so let's track back here. So you said that you so the I was asking you what made you start streaming. You saw T-Mox, you saw Special Ed, you got to 916 Junglist channel, and then you saw John Tetley's set. Is that what made you go, oh, wait a minute, this music is still being made? I have to spin it. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
Or
it pushed me back to my true love, which is that old school sound. And I started actually like I hadn't actually played jungle, like the evolution of the old school, the jungle,
right?
like John Tetley makes. I'd never actually played a whole set of that before. Um, I played a lot of old school,
Hmm.
but I hadn't actually played that before. And it was like, oh, okay, well, as long as I play mostly old school and then some of that, then then I don't know. There's so much good stuff out, like all the so many good, so much good music. Like thanks to what like Junglist News Round and Man Like Deep,
Hmm.
I wouldn't know of half the good music that I've heard.
Hmm.
Like in most of my streams, you'll hear at least one or two tracks that I've heard off his show,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
maybe one or two made by John Tetley. Or I try to play like he says, the chat cruise tunes, or in this case, tunes. Yes.
Yes, yes. Um, well, that's amazing. I love that in 2020, an entire new world of music opened up for you, harkening all the way back to like 1992.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That makes me so happy. Like,
I mean,
because I mean,
I could regret the not paying it or not continuing that musical love during that 8 years
mhm,
being married, but I got a daughter out of it.
mhm.
I used to find like Aphex Twin and Amon Tobin really creepy, and now I fucking love it. She was a good influence on certain parts of my musical taste,
Mhm.
and of course, I came out of it a healthy person as well.
Right, right.
Because I had some really bad habits back before we met, and I'm doing much better now.
Well, life definitely doesn't always go the road we think it's going to go, but I think if we're smart and open, we'll usually end up all right in the end.
Yeah,
We'll usually end up in a good place in the end, even if the road to get there was definitely not what we expected.
it was rocky
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so the other night, uh, I was watching you stream, and what was that, Saturday night?
Saturday. Yeah.
And uh, and it was like the I'm gonna play every record, or every tune I play is going to be around 160 BPM, whether it was made at 160 BPM or not. And you kept talking about 160 BPM. What's so magic about 160 BPM? And I know one of magic thing about 160 BPM is freaking shadowboxing at 160
Oh
BPM.
yes, that was amazing.
Holy, that was amazing.
Well, yeah, 160 is a great great tempo to play old school at, because a lot of it's between like 147 and 162. It's like, oh, I'll just play it 160, and then I started playing faster music with it. I'm like, hey, this actually works. It's like this. Yeah, it worked really well, and I even played some like secret structures at 160, and that worked really well. And
Yes.
at the end, I went up to about 82, or sorry, 164. Sorry, you got to do the Serato
Yes, the
conversion.
doubling.
Yeah.
Yes.
What song do I sing in the shower?
Yes, this was a good question.
Hmm. Whatever song's in my head at the time. Right now, I think it's that "Break the Chain" song by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's
Ever
a good
break the
song.
chain? Yeah, I played
Yep.
a jungle remix of it, and okay, not that last Saturday, but the Wednesday before that, I was playing that. Someone requested a rewind. I did a rewind, played it again, then mixed out of it, and then accidentally played it again
Wait, which
directly
song?
after that. So it's called "Chained" by DJ Bino, but
Okay.
it's a Fleetwood Mac. It's the Fleetwood Mac "Chained"
Got
remix.
it.
Yeah,
Got it.
I played it
Okay.
2 times, and people were like, I could listen to it again. It reminds me of one time on Escape Velocity where they got rewinds and played one track that SenseNet played, or that made, and played it 6 times. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, man. Give the people what they want, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's what you want to.
Yes.
Yeah. As long as it's not, some garbage that you don't like. Wait a minute. So I'm sorry, Gypsy Kid, 160 Juke Jungle is my jam. Is that a thing? Like, I feel about a million years old right now. Like,
I don't know.
literally, because that could actually be a thing, and I just would not know, like, at all. Um,
Oh, Golden Child, I like 185, but only at certain times.
it's a thing. Okay. Well, I will definitely inform Wes that Juke Jungle needs to be on the list of things to teach me. Wow. Can't believe that's a thing. Love it. Every day is a school day, right, guys? Like,
Exactly.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so um I'm still cracking up that someone told you that all trance DJs become jungle DJs. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to in my mind think if I know any or ever knew a jungle DJ that had been a trance DJ.
Yeah, this was
Um,
back in 2000 that people were saying that.
that's so crazy. I mean, I love the idea of that. Like, please
I
flee
think
from
it was,
progressive trance. Come to jungle. We have cookies. Like, um,
I think it was the Jaded Trance DJs. Yeah, something like that. It was like sick
well,
of the whole trying to get trained. Well, yeah. I so my
late
first
90s, early 2000s jungle had lots of room for miserable people, let me tell you.
my first booking was December 31st, 1999. So it was at a club called Club FX in Seattle,
Mhm.
and uh, my wife did not allow me to go to it because her dad thought Y2K was going to bring the apocalypse and made her agree to not let me out of the house.
Oh my
I
god.
was so mad about it for like 6, 7 years, um, until she actually told me 10 years later what actually happened. Of course, I was even more mad, but I wasn't mad at her.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah, I think if I would have gotten that gig, either things would have been different. but I don't know if they would have been different in a good or a bad way. But
Yeah.
I think it's all worked out just fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, yeah. I mean, I look yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I look back and I look back and I think, God, what if I ever had like, I don't know, worked hard enough to like actually become a big DJ? I think I would have been pretty fucking miserable, honestly.
yeah,
Like that life is not for me. I like being in my own space. I like being with my own people. I like sleeping in my own bed. If I travel, I'd like to be able to see at least some of the place that I'm at. And just in the last week, I've read two different interviews with um, uh, pretty big name producers. One was Caliber, and actually, it wasn't an interview with BC. It was BC was on his stream, and they were both talking about the fact that um, that as much as 2020 has been garbage, it's actually been really nice to not have to be a traveling DJ,
yeah,
and that uh, I know Steve BC said that he is like future, even as things open up, he's going to be handling that differently
yeah.
because he doesn't miss that life,
It's
that crazy
amazing.
life.
This
Yeah,
whole platform is amazing in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I don't miss having to go out to smoky clubs
Ugh.
with a bunch of drunk idiots
So
and
they still allow smoking in Texas, right?
oh yeah, yep,
Okay. I
yep,
remember when they stopped allowing smoking in inside venues in Seattle, and even for I quit tobacco in July 4th, 2003. This gave me I have now a reason to celebrate Independence Day, being British and all that. Um,
yes. Independence from tobacco.
yeah, well, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I don't look as old as I would have. I feel younger than I did back when I was 23 and
Yeah,
smoking 2 packs a day. Um, yeah,
yeah.
but I made some better decisions in that period. So I think, yeah,
Jimmy, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you being here. I caught a few minutes of your set earlier. I hope you had a good stream. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but I was enjoying it. Um, uh, okay, so uh, we got we got sidetracked. I'm sure I led us off the path. My own self. So you haven't been streaming very long then, because even I was on Twitch when John Tetley had that set. So
I, I started March last year. It's just I wasn't doing it very often, and um,
okay.
I wasn't doing the old school
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
I that was is my true love. Um, like my second true love is liquid. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I was mainly doing more deep liquid kind of stuff and baseline house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it wasn't until that fateful night that I heard John Tetley on Inside the Ride. I actually had to go to bed, so I was in my bed with this big grin on my face, listening to his set. Like, oh my god, it's still alive. Um,
Oh, that's so
it,
great.
it wasn't. I mean, I'm ashamed that I wasn't actually actively seeking it out until that moment. But that was that moment changed my life. Thank you, John Tetley. Thank you, Deep, for arranging that. Thank you, Billy,
That's
for
yes.
having him on, and Gypsy Kid for probably organizing it. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a great team on this Twitch DMB fam.
Yeah, we do. And
Yeah,
I love how many people's stories involve like I love hearing stories about people who never left. They've been going hard for 20, 30 years. Like I love that story.
yeah,
But I also really love that there are a lot of people with a story like mine, which is, meh, I kind of wasn't following things. I didn't have my finger on the pulse the way that I used to, blah, blah, blah. Then 2020, then Twitch. Now I'm as crazy for it as I've ever been at any point in my life.
Yeah,
I love that the just, oh, I mean, if I ever needed music, it's this last year.
yeah.
Like, if I ever needed something to survive, I mean, it's either that or I guess develop a drinking problem. And music was a much better
Yeah.
path to go down for sure.
I like to
But
say that shift happens.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Yeah. Ugh, love it. Love
I
it.
guess I should say where I came from.
Yes.
So I was born in London. Um, I lived there till I was around about 4 years old, and then for some reason I'm not going to talk about here, my we had to abruptly leave England, and we moved to Saudi Arabia. And in Saudi Arabia, we mainly listened to I mainly listened to the music my parents listened to, which was like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Fleetwood Mac, Pat Benatar. Uh, but it was there that my love for Michael Jackson, like that was my favorite music as a kid. And
Yes.
so the only music retailer inside in that area at the time was actually a bootleg company. So that it was this company called 747. It was all tapes, um, and sometimes you open up everything at the lyrics, but sometimes you'd open it up and they'd be misspelled or there'd be the wrong lyrics or something like that. But it was hilarious. But we had access to music, um, and it wasn't until I moved to the U.S. in December of 1984. Um, we moved to Southern California, and soon after that, we went and visited, or actually, between that was when I moved to America. My mom and my stepdad at the time, they worked a lot, so I was a latchkey kid,
Mhm.
and basically, I was raised by MTV and Nickelodeon.
Yep.
And Yo MTV Raps was like that had
Yeah.
just come out, and the Beastie Boys. It was all about the Beastie Boys at the time, um, and the License to Ill had just come out, and we went to visit my family in England, and my cousin was like, "Hey, you got to check out this Public Enemy." It's like, damn, that's cool. Like, like I don't know. I love my family, but yeah. So my love for hip hop started there, and of course, back in the day with Two Live Crew and all that. Since I
Mhm.
didn't live with my biological dad, he would actually buy me Two Live Crew and NWA and all the parental advisory explicit lyrics CDs. Um,
That sounds like a parental Cold War there. Like,
well, yeah, I didn't let. Well, she didn't. My mom didn't listen to the lyrics. I hope. She did not approve of me listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers, so she definitely wouldn't have approved of any of that. um, but yeah, so then I lived in Southern California, in Glendale for about 4 or 5 years, and then we moved. Uh, then my mom got divorced from her second husband. We moved up to uh, Western Washington to Bellevue. Uh, then she got married again. Um, and then we lived in Redmond, which is right next to Bellevue. So this is the suburbs of Seattle.
Okay.
And so Redmond is where Microsoft is based, and also where Nintendo is based. I really wanted to work at Nintendo, but I ended up getting. I was a contractor at Microsoft for a period of 14 years as a software tester, and um, it was kind of cool because the people I worked with really liked my mixes, so they would actually. I mean, I was still just playing uh, on the those were vinyl mixes back then, and I got to listen to one of my first mixes that I thought was good back then. No, it was like no, I can't listen. It's like
Oh.
I started actually learning how to mix in '98, but I don't consider myself a DJ until I was actually able to beat match, and that was in 1999, late
Mhm.
1999.
Mhm.
And yeah, I thought it was good, but the breaks mix was okay, but the trance mixes they weren't
Uh,
train wrecking, but the phrasing was off and all this stuff that I would totally nitpick now because
yeah.
it's my own mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I and then met my soon to be wife, and uh, like then she bought me my second turntable, and that was like the beginning of the end right there. Um, then I was just like every time I wasn't at work, I was down in the basement. So we rented this house in Bellevue that was it used to be a Playboy's mansion. It wasn't really a mansion, but it was huge, and it had this. The basement was completely finished, but it was solid concrete. And when we went down, it had a circular bed in it and everything. But we called it the basement because we could turn it up and you couldn't hear it outside of the house.
The
Uh, and that's
two
where
S's in basement.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And so I had these mixes called Live in the Basement, and it was like Live in the Basement 1, 2, 3, 2000. It was like that was my favorite one, but I can't listen to it. And so yeah, that's when I learned how to mix, and even when I wasn't, even after I'd sold my decks, I still had that DJ brain because nobody taught me how to mix. It's someone I got 2 or 3 um, pieces of advice. First is count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and um, that was like the only advice I got at first, and then all the other was basically watching more experienced DJs play.
No one ever gave you the most classic sage wisdom I got repeatedly.
What was
Just
that one?
practice. Just
Oh
practice.
no, I didn't get that, but that's what I did.
Yeah,
Practice,
write it down, secret
practice
structures.
makes
You don't want to let this nugget go by.
practice makes perfect. Yeah.
You don't
Uh,
know what the hell you're doing, just keep doing it.
and yeah, what I got out of it now is I just say practice, patience, and perseverance.
Yes.
That's like the 3 P's, the most important thing. Just keep practicing. Don't give up on yourself, and just
Mhm.
continue. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
and what sticks with me too is Curly, don't be a gatekeeper. Like, if you can share knowledge, just share the knowledge.
yeah.
Don't make someone earn it from you that just wants some help that you can give. You know, it's not hard. It's not hard to say, oh
No.
yeah, try this or whatever. Yeah. Or shoot, let's be honest, what most of us needed to hear when we first started DJing was, don't worry, you will get better.
Yeah.
Or like, everyone starts out train wrecking. It's okay.
Like no, those are actually shoes in the dryer.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Ugh. Um, so, okay. So, how did you find Twitch? Like, I mean, obviously you do tech for a living, but what got you to Twitch and then how did you find music here?
Well, I think I'd heard offhand somewhere that people are streaming on Twitch, and I didn't get on Twitch to stream video games or anything. It's like, oh, is there another place that I could possibly play music? And I think it was just I had created an account and everything,
Mhm.
but then I kept going to the Facebook Live, and it wasn't until um, they just kept muting my mixes while I was playing. I'm like, I have had enough of this Facebook crap. Um, I'm gonna check Twitch out, and yeah, it wasn't. I did a few streams, and man, my layouts were terrible. Like it was just text saying my name, not no graphics or anything. You could see my dirty ass office. I'm glad you can't see it right now. You just see a wall now, because I have to work and stream in the same office or
Right,
same room. So
right.
now I have my work. This is my work side, and the stream side is the other side.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
but yeah, it was that Spin Super. He asked me to play on his channel, and it wasn't until I had 10 or more eyes or ears on listening that it was like, wow, this really um, touches me in that way that it was like playing for people in the real life.
Mhm.
Um, because I had so many in real life DJ gigs where nobody showed up, or I was the first DJ, so they didn't show up until as soon as I was done playing. So I actually got booked for a huge, massive in Seattle. It's called Freak Night. And so I was supposed to tag team with someone, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to just play the first half hour, and I'll play the second half hour?" And like, yeah, I think I'd prefer that than tag teaming with someone I didn't really know.
Mhm.
And it was really unfortunate because they didn't actually let anybody in the door until that moment that I stopped.
Oh.
So I was done DJing on this massive system. It was huge,
Mhm.
and like Netsky. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it.
Mhm.
Netsky. He was on the same lineup.
Mhm.
Lodestar. Uh,
Mhm.
all these really big names. And yeah, when I was done, like then everyone started coming in. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of fun things like that. At least I got to open for Marky once,
Hey.
playing at a club run by the same guys as that Massive that actually got shut down because I think they were selling drugs like in there, and that club actually got shut down, called Club Foundation in Seattle. Um,
Yikes.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that was back when I was playing this breakbeat jungle called Future Jungle. So it's
Mhm.
140 beats per minute jungle
Okay.
or breakbeats with chock full of almonds and
Mhm.
it. But yeah, I was playing Future Jungle at the time, and that was fun. Except for their sound was so loud that when I was done, yeah, it was definitely ringing. Yep, Foundation, shake my head. You're right.
Okay, so uh thanks, Jax. I appreciate that. Real quick, Jimmy, thank you, Detroit Jimmy, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that. And whoever else I've missed. Oh, Golden Child, thank you so much. You're the best. I see that comment. Smart ass. Lexaquin, thank you for the sub. And Juice Drum and Bass, I think I thanked you, and Urban Ghosts for the bits. Also, guys, I appreciate your patience with me on that. As I try to give my guest, who's been so kind as to give me his time, all the attention I can. Erock, thank you for the sub. Amazing, wonderful. Love Erock so much. He's a great guy, y'all. If you're not following him, you're missing out. Um, uh, shoot. Oh yeah. So okay, that gig that you were just talking about was 30 minutes, right? So I mean, I'm thinking back to the last time I played records, and man, 30 minutes, I wouldn't have even been warmed up yet.
Yeah.
But at Twitch, like, you can go as long as you want. Like, are you enjoying that sort of freedom to
Yeah.
just?
It's really nice. I really like the one. I'm starting to really like the 1 hour gigs
Mhm.
because I can. Well, no, it's I like 1 hour. I love 2 hour. It's once it gets to like the 4 hour, it's like I've run out of energy. I can't dance anymore. Uh, if
So you're telling me the great Charlie Eon does run out of energy.
yes,
There, you have
I am
a limit.
45 after all. No, I'm not a 45. I am 45.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I mean, I think they all definitely I could see have value. You know, like 1 hour is nice because you can probably find an uninterrupted hour to just come on real
Yeah,
quick, do a stream, and get out. But yeah, being able to go for like 3 hours where you can go in any direction you want at whatever BPM you want, and
that's why I like my Saturdays. It's like I
yeah.
can. Yeah, Detroit Jimmy, you're right. Just add beer. That would make me be able to go on for as long as I had more beer. I don't know.
Right.
Um, yeah, yeah, that 4 hours. I usually do the Saturdays for 3 hours, and then John Tetley rated in at that 3 hour mark. I'm like, okay, I'll go on for a little bit longer. But
Yes.
that first, like, after Gouda rated in with 77 people, yeah, he rated, like, I was an hour in, he raids in, and I was like, okay, well, you just hit me at the peak time. Like, I was getting to the hardcore and the well, I guess I wouldn't say faster because it was still all 160. Um, um, yeah,
You
yeah.
are an addict after all. You must.
Yeah, I'm a mixed
Must.
addict for sure.
I'm addicted to those 160 beats per minute. Um, you're not. You are like I don't even know. Oh, first of all, I didn't even tell you. You're my 13th interview, so good on you. You will always be
Oh dear.
lucky number 13. Um,
Well, I
but
do think of it as lucky now.
you're
It
at
pisses me off.
least the third one that's mentioned those 140 BPM CDs,
Okay.
and I mean those were massive. Like they were just
Yeah, slip mat mixing.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean they were just absolutely seminal, certainly for us in North America. But can you believe that there was a time when 140 was extreme?
Yeah.
Like it was called 140 BPM because that was really extreme.
Well, I think there was a track on there called "Too Bad for You" by Mixed Race, and I
Mhm.
think it was 200 beats per minute. Yeah, it was the last track. Too bad for you. Too bad. It was so good.
Oh, I'm gonna have to listen to that now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's totally awesome. So uh shoot, like I have all like these like standard questions that I ask people who were into drum and bass back in the day. but that wasn't you. So like, what was your uh so you were like big into trance, which obviously, you know, the
For
Pacific coast of America is not
years.
really big into trance. So that's not the birthplace of progressive trance.
No.
So how did you acquire your records and your information and, all of that?
Um, well, I was a what you call a label whore. Um, I would go to Platinum Records in Seattle. I knew what day that the records were coming out, and I would go and buy all the records from those labels. Most of the times I would listen through first, but sometimes I'll just go snag them up before someone else does.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, that was like the first time I really heard breaks because on Huge Tunes there's a lot of there's one breaks. I think they're a duo named Hybrid,
Hmm.
and they made the best breaks remixes of everything. And I think initially they would only make music for Sasha and John Digweed.
Wow.
And so, because I had first heard Hybrid on, it was the Northern Exposure East Coast edition or something like that. It was a long time ago, but it was this amazing mix that I later found out was called a studio mix, where they didn't actually mix
Hmm.
it; they
Hmm.
just put it all together in a studio. Um,
That was some of that early sync technology that
yeah,
me and my miserable friends were bitching about
but I
back in the
would,
late 90s.
yeah, Finnish Symphony was huge, but yeah, um, I I kind of strove to be able to mix like that, and then I found out that it was a studio mix.
Hmm.
But I would still love to be able to do that, have that kind of flow, and that's flow is very important to me, and I appreciate that whenever I hear a DJ with really good flow,
Hmm.
um, like
So
Adagio, like that. He's got this amazing flow, and his track selection. I don't know, it's just so good.
so
Um,
when you say flow, like what I know what comes to mind for me, but like what specifically comes to mind for you as far as like uh what is a good flowing mix made of? Like what's the criteria?
well, just when you choose the right tracks that go together and they don't, you can barely tell there's a mix. I
Hmm.
mean, it just I don't know. It just
It
flows.
flows.
It's hard. It's hard.
I know. That was mean of me to do that probably. Yeah.
No, well, it, it, I think it has to do with track selection, and
Hmm.
I think it completely has to do with track selection,
Hmm.
which is very important in my opinion.
Agreed.
Um, I always appreciate good track selection, and I
Yep.
I try to only play music that I love. Um, I did
Uh
recently play a track that I didn't love, and I even though the only reason I played it because it had this Dune sample in it. Um,
mhm.
Put your hand in the box.
Oh God.
And that Dune, yeah. What's funny is that Eon Void Dweller album was chock full of Dune samples. The spice must flow. He who
Uh-huh.
controls the spice controls the universe.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
Here's the mind killer.
yes, there was a whole yeah.
Hmm.
I'll have to send you a link to that album because it's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm super curious now.
yeah,
Like really curious to know what captured your attention in 1992. Um uh uh I back to track selection. I
yeah.
remember telling someone once that um good tracks, like a good track selection can cause recovery from bad mixing, but there is no level of mixing that will save bad track selection. Like
Agreed.
it can't be saved. I'd rather listen to excellent tracks mixed, you know,
Yeah,
kind of than listen to bad tracks mixed well.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'd rather listen to excellent tracks played one after the other than
yes,
badly mixed.
yes, yes. Well, I mean, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
yeah, exactly what you just said.
hmm yeah. Um, I do like what you said about flow, though. I don't think that gets enough credit. Like, you mentioned before how you liked being the first DJ because you had more freedom, right? Like the opener,
Yeah,
there's fewer expectations,
and you get
on
to
you.
bring people to the floor. Yeah,
Right, exactly, exactly. You're trying to draw people in as opposed to having to keep them there.
right.
Um, and uh, but I think, like, for me, what I loved about an early set was that I could play something different than what I would need to play at like 1 o'clock in the morning on the main
Exactly.
floor. But I think a lot of times people lose the idea of a flow in a set, um, when they get focused on, well, I only have an hour. I better play all the bangers I brought, no matter
Yeah,
what time of night it is. And
yeah,
then it's just about, okay, how many bangers can I cram into an hour, whether they flow together or you're going somewhere or not.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the I think the one or the two times I got to play middle slot, it's like
Mhm.
I got to rock the fuck out. It was so much fun because you see me back when in 2010 I rocked out even harder than that because I was 10 years younger. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I was watching again
Innocent.
your set from 916. I had it on today while I was working, and man, I was wondering how many more shirts you had on. Like you had the really cool like 3D printed hoodie thing, and then you took that off and you had the optical illusion long sleeve on. And then that came off, and there was the bottle shirt. And I was like, what's under the bottle shirt?
The ta-
Sadly, if I had known there was a tattoo of a dancing stick figure DJ, I would have been like, take it off, buddy. Let's go. But
didn't have any pasties. Sorry, too hot for Twitch.
well, I don't know. Are PCs too hot for Twitch? Thankfully, this is not a matter I've had to investigate. I don't know what's too hot for Twitch.
Apparently nipples are. So
Well, good thing we didn't actually see your nipples then when we saw your tattoo. Um, Lord Almighty.
it
Oh, what a thing.
just went
What
there.
a thing. Um, I'm trying to remember why. Never mind. I'm not even going to say that because God, that's going to go a whole other
Ooh, electric
direction.
tape. Good idea.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, those bottle shirts, those are dope, right? 916 Junglist merchandise.
Merch.
Merch. Big merch. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Merch is gonna come to help fundraise too, guys. Just FYI. So um yeah. So let's see. So tell me about, because I mean I honestly don't know. Like I listen to John Tetley's stream, but I don't know like there's this whole vast I've been out of jungle, like paying real close attention to it for 20 years. So like the fact that people are act that there is like an entire scene of people actively making tunes that sound like they were made in the early 90s is amazing to me. Um and obviously that's a flavor that you enjoy. Are there, I mean, other than like the chat crew that we've talked about,
Yeah.
so like, John Tetley, I'm sure Terrace, DJ
Oracle.
Terrace, Oracle. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Oracle. If y'all don't know Oracle, you better come and watch a John Tetley stream so you can get
Yeah.
to know. She is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Come ready to have a good time though. Don't come being all serious and shit. Just come to have a good time and you will not be disappointed. Um, uh, but are there other like artists that you rate that are like making that that sort of sound that you are really
Well,
enjoying?
there's an entire label, Night Force.
Okay.
I've basically every week I go and check to make sure see if they've got any new releases, and it's so well done. You can get a lot of the old school tracks remastered so well that they're so clean now,
Mhm.
and just like you get the Hyperon experience. What Sonny and Deck Hussey that John Tetley turned me on to. Uh, DJ Beano, which is so good. We got Ant to Be, which is just Ant ANTTOBE, Ant to Be. Um, there's so much good stuff on Night Force, and they send you the vinyl too. So uh,
Yeah.
you just have to basically wait a year because of the stamp shipping from England situation.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but I get the WAV file, and then eventually I'll get the surprise of a piece of vinyl in the mail.
Right.
Um,
Right. Oh, Golden Child asks, "Do you have A Night in Paradise?"
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Uh-oh. I bet Golden Child has it, and I bet he knows the whole story
I,
about it from birth to death, which I love that about you, Golden Child. That's not a slam. That's a I'm jealous of your knowledge and memory.
Pussy and Cruelty. Yes,
Oh, so
I'm gonna get it.
there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Intake, get out of here with yourself. Coming in here causing trouble. Oh yeah, I saw that Secret Structures was here too. I wondered if he was here when we were talking about you playing his tunes at 160 and how nice they sound
Oh
at
no,
160.
I know he started streaming shortly after you went on.
I heard that he had a stream recently, and I totally missed that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's trying to get his affiliate. So we need to help him do that.
oh my gosh! Wait, he's trying to get his affiliate. Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, guys, I'm shouting out
He's
Secret
only doing
Structures.
his actual. He only started streaming with a full layout and everything. I think this week. But I think with all our support, we can help him get there pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, guys. So hey, there's Secret Structures. Give him a follow. Not only does he make
Incredible.
incredible jungle, drum and bass, whatever the term is you want to call it, he is also streaming now. I missed your first stream, dude, and I'm really sad about it. Um, but yeah, let's follow this guy. Let's get him to affiliate for sure. I want to see what kind of crazy emotes he's going to come up with because let me tell you, I bet they'll be fun. For sure. In Iraq, actually, this is a real couch. This is my couch. It's just got a cover on it. But yeah, no, this is my couch. Actual couch. I could fall asleep. But I'm not gonna because this is too much fun. Um,
Intake.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, Iraq. Yeah, Iraq. I actually made a. It's not a Sailor Jerry cam. It's a plantation rum cam because I had to one up you with a more expensive ghetto camera. Um, yeah,
I need a dance cam to go
you
behind.
do. You do.
Yeah,
I
that's my
all
next
cams,
project.
man. No, 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 no. You know what you need is you need a Raven cam.
I need that too.
That's what you need. You need a Raven cam, and
Raven
you need
cam
a
and a Raven cam.
hey, a Raven cam. Genius, genius. By the way, guys, Raven is Charlie's dog. Really cute 4-year-old black dachshund mix. She's adorable. Oh my god, and Eroc's fiance's name is Raven. Oh my god, it's Ravapalooza up in here. We're all just Raven. That's so Raven. Oh, AJ's got a Dachshund too. That's great. Okay, yeah. So let me just say, if anybody in the chat streams with a dog, hit me up. I'll be there. Like anytime, anywhere. I don't even listen to No Use for Anger anymore. It's on mute, and I just wait for the Nismo cam. That's it.
Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's gonna go get her. Intake. I'm down with the cats on stream because they can't make me sneeze through the internet yet. Although, if cats could figure that out, I'm sure they would do it because they're a little, troublesome. Those cats. Yeah, but no, I'm down for a cat cam too, for sure. All your animals. I want them all. Yeah, the cats make your music, Mike. They don't just pay your bills through, doing the work. Oh, there she is. There she is, Raven. Look at her little white chin. What a doll. She does look really soft. That fur is shiny.
Yep.
So shiny. Puppy Tooth approves of the inclusion of a member of the canine species into this stream. I also approve of it. Send your animals applications now to appear on my stream. If I like them, I might have you on even if I don't like you. So good news. I like all of you anyway. So there you go. Oh God, what a cutie. She is very chill.
Yeah.
Oh God, Golden Child wasn't here when she was barking her head off.
Nope.
She pulled a biggie, Golden Child, and was barking her full head off at the tree cutting peoples. Okay, so what are your plans for streaming and DJing and all of that, Charlie? Just gonna.
I'm trying to stick to 1 to 2 streams a week.
Okay.
I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want it to seem like work because I'm having so much fun doing the 1 guest slot a week and my Saturday show.
Yes.
Even the work on layouts and OBS side stuff doesn't seem like work right now.
Yes.
My job that I do is actually a 7-day week job. So that's all the work. And of course, being a dad to my 15-year-old teenager who's, no, you want to get down?
How old is your teenager?
15.
Oh my God.
You want to come on.
Dogs, man. I tell you. Still easier than a teenager, though.
I want to go back to the couch. Come on.
Come on, Dad. It's not as comfortable in here.
No.
I can't believe you have a 15-year-old because you're my age, and I'm trying to imagine myself taking care of a 15-year-old. And yeah.
Well,
hats off.
Well, I mean, she's got a 4.0 at school in 9th grade. She's in in AP class now, and I'm a proud papa.
Well, good job, Dad. Very good job.
My music.
She likes your music?
Doesn't mind it.
Oh, she doesn't mind it. Okay, well, with a teenager, that's high praise right there.
Yeah. Especially because I like to say I play my music at rave volume because I like it loud, but I don't like. Yes. Well, I don't play it at rave volume because I don't play it all distorted.
Your speakers are too high quality to play at actual rave level.
Yes, and also it's the distortion that I think is the cause of the tinnitus or the ringing ears. So and the hearing damage. So ever since I stopped using these large Mackie PA speakers as my monitors, I haven't had any ear ringing since but I use those as my low end. So those are down by my feet now.
Yes.
So that I can have the low end, and then I have these 2 smaller monitors up here, and then I have a 1 kilowatt subwoofer over here, so that I can feel the bass.
Well, the bass of what I hear, the bass is not what is going to cause your ears problems.
Right, right.
It's the high end.
The treble, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going to cause you treble. Not even
Uh,
voice.
BK, if you ain't redlining, some may say you ain't headlining, but if you ain't redlining, Curly likes you.
If you ain't
Hate
clipping,
redlining.
if you
What
ain't
was it?
clipping, you must be tripping. That's what Craig said. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I'd heard that one before. That's a good one
But
too.
what's funny is that his first stream was clipping so badly, and he kept saying that. But in subsequent streams, he's fixed that problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. That's that's one thing that is let's say one of many things that's very different about the Twitch experience than like the rave experience. In a dirty warehouse, you're not paying that close of attention. You just want to hear the music. But in your comfortable living room, you start to go, man, that bass is really muddy. Like,
Yeah.
you actually care about that stuff. Oh, Golden Child also bringing up more Night Force knowledge for us.
Yep, I've got it
Trip
on a
to the
tab.
herb.
I'm ready for when we're done with this.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
have a feeling you guys will be chit chatting about all of this stuff. Um,
I think I might have that one, but yeah,
yes,
the
he'll
herb.
give you all the info
I've got the
for sure.
DJ Psych and TC remix. I'll have to check out the other ones.
Oh my god, computer, what are you doing? Anyway,
Technology.
oh yeah, it's great when it works. It's amazing when it works. Um, Okay, so unbelievably, we only have 15 minutes left. This has been
we,
super
we
fun.
made it. The home
We
stretch.
did. We did it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to ask you about that I hadn't asked you about yet. But so I know about the island. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me just say, are there a lot of orcas around? Is that what the island got named
No, the
for?
orchid was named after a
Oh, shoot.
Spanish explorer. But there are lots of orca
Okay.
sightings around here. But yes, there are orcas in the waters. Um,
hmm
but it was uh, it was a in in honor of the Viceroy of Mexico, a man with 13 names, one of which
Oh,
was Orcasitas.
hmm.
But yeah, all the islands here. Well, we have Lopez Island, San Juan Island, Orcas Island. Shaw, I don't think was named after a Mexican viceroy, but they're probably like Shaw. We don't want to come up with a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah, we don't think about Shaw. We
Okay, Sid,
oh yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh no, I'm not going to bring that up.
So
Yeah.
Stitch says hello, and that you need to tell us how hard it is to get to Seattle. I'm assuming from your remote island location.
Yeah, so it's an hour ferry to get to here, from here to Anacortes, which is the ferry dock on the mainland, and then it's 3 hours to Seattle. Yeah,
So
but
it's
you
an
can
it's
take
an
a
hour
plane.
just to get to the mainland,
Yes, yeah,
and it
on the boat,
has to be a boat. Like
right?
there's no
But we can
driving
take a
there.
seaplane um,
Oh,
directly from the airport, which is 2 minutes from my house, to Lake Union in Seattle. I think it takes about 45 minutes and it costs $80. So there there are options. But if you
Wow.
want to bring any stuff with you, you pretty much got to take the car route. And I drive an electric. I drive a Nissan Leaf. It's a 2013, so it only gets about 50-mile range.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's not very a good
So
traveling car.
so it's a full electric, like a plug it
Yeah,
in electric.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We actually are the only car dealership on this island is an all electric car, and they sell basically used electric cars because it's the perfect island car because 50 miles will get you everywhere.
That's
Um,
true. Yeah.
and actually, we do not have a Starbucks here.
Well,
Just so you
yeah,
know.
that was more my joke about in down like just in downtown Austin, there are two standalone Starbucks plus multiples within like inside buildings.
Yeah,
And then of course all of the other random local coffee shops that there are. Um
we did
yeah,
have
that was
one coffee shop that sold Starbucks coffee, but
mhm, mhm.
no, that company they they retired, but now they just make cookies.
Oh well, I mean, nothing wrong with cookies.
No, no. And apparently
We
the
like cookies.
yeah.
Okay, Charlie. So what's coming up for you? Like, your what are your guest appearances that you've got coming up?
Well, I've got this Friday. I'm playing on the Flex Fridays on the Flex
Okay.
DMV.
Oh, nice, nice.
Um, then let me open my calendar, and of course I got my Saturday show.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so busy, y'all. I have to have a calendar to have all my gigs on it.
Seriously.
Like, oh my
Um,
gosh,
on the 27th of April, I'm playing on Base Freak Radio,
nice, very
and
nice.
that's all I've got right now. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's all I got right now.
Well, I'm quite certain that that will change.
Uh,
Uh,
uh, and one thing I've learned from my uh, decades of being a DJ and really hoping people ask you to play is
mhm.
sometimes you just got to ask.
Yeah. Sometimes you have
Yeah,
not because you ask not.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Don't the sense of entitlement. I remember when I first got back in 2010, I had this sense of entitlement,
Mm,
and it's a terrible thing. Um,
yeah.
it doesn't feel good.
No.
I mean, it feels good when you do get bookings, but uh, just feeling bad about not getting bookings, you just got to ask.
Well, and like the problem with feeling a sense of entitlement is that most of the time you're not going to get what you think you're entitled to. And so you
Yeah,
will be disappointed. That's rather than if you live in a I don't expect to get anything. Everything you get is a lovely surprise. You know,
yeah,
I'd rather live that way, but I mean, I'm not everyone, I guess. So, yeah, okay. So, I guess any last questions for my man Charlie? I'm going to give you guys a sec to do that, and while I do that, I will say, just as a reminder, um, my birthday is at the end of next month, guys. So all of my Twitch money for March and April is all going to be donated to either NAMI in the US or Mind in the UK, two very fantastic mental health charities. Um, and there has been a link coming through, and I'm sharing it now as well. If you would like to make a direct donation, I'll be highlighting that during my stream for my birthday. But that's what I want for my birthday. Is if you want to make a donation, awesome, that'd be great. I don't need it, but those organizations could definitely use the help. So but yeah, if you're not following Charlie and you've been watching this long, you're crazy. Go follow Charlie. Thank you for I'm glad that timer came up again. Okay, Stitch Jones says, "What's your favorite wine or mixed drink?"
My favorite wine has to be late harvest Riesling. It's nice and sweet.
Mm, yes.
I also like Sauvignon Blanc. Um, and mixed drink would probably have to be gin and tonic. It used to be mojitos and
Mm,
margaritas, but then I had to stop eating sugar, and because I have
uh,
a skin thing that is exacerbated by sugar, so I stopped eating sugar a long time ago. Um, but those mojitos were my favorite.
oh yeah, yeah. Mm,
But right now it's a Sauvignon Blanc and a Riesling.
nice, very nice. Uh, look at Golden Child all fancy with his Sauvignon Blanc. You guys are all fancy. Wine, I'm like, eh, I don't know anything about wine.
I
I can talk about coffee like all day and tell you all kinds of crazy crap about why coffee
like
tastes the
cold
way it
brew.
does. But yes, yes.
I make
Um,
green tea though, and I start my day with uh, these mushrooms, lion's mane and cordyceps. Lion's mane mushrooms help stimulate neurogenesis, so they actually help me
oh,
feel like I have a young brain. Um,
nice.
and cordyceps give you a nice. It's not like energy like coffee, but it
Hmm.
just gives you stamina and um, just it's good stuff, and it's really good for your heart and everything. So
Nice. So you make like a tea out of that?
I make that with green tea. Yeah, so
Okay.
double green tea with uh, 2 scoops of each one.
Oh, is like a powder or
Yeah,
something?
powder. Yeah,
Oof. Yeah.
yeah. I
I imagine that has a very earthy taste.
the it no, it doesn't taste like dirt for some reason. Uh,
Okay.
but the green tea I use is a yogi tea. It's a kombucha green tea, so it has really nice
Hmm.
fragrant smell and taste. So it probably
Okay.
overpowers any earthy taste that the mushrooms would have.
That's
Um,
probably not a bad thing though
yeah,
for that use, that purpose. Yeah.
and so
All
that's
right.
that's
So
kind of what I
if we
use
want to stay young,
energy.
yeah.
Well,
If we want to stay
the
young
equation
and have
help too.
yeah, have Charlie's level of energy while he DJs, mushrooms may be the key. Um, that may be oh, and quit smoking 17 years ago. Also a
Yeah,
very important step. If you don't
yeah,
have a time machine, you might be out of luck, um, but you can quit today, and
yes.
in 17 years, you'll be happy that you quit today. Um,
And one thing I don't usually like to bring up, but a little over a year ago, I went vegan. So
okay.
but I don't want to be the preachy vegan.
Mhm.
But
But
yeah,
hey, if
I
that's
think
been
that,
good for your health, that's awesome.
and I love animals. I love,
Mhm.
love, love. I don't love eating animals. I love animals. Not, not in the South Park way. No,
Oh god.
no chicken lover.
Stop. Oh my god. That's like the third time we've talked about South Park in like 2 days. So, yeah, we talked about how South Park is oddly accurate when it comes to their their episodes that spoof religions.
Yes.
Like their you were telling me that the Scientology episode is really accurate, and I was telling you that the Mormon episode is really accurate. Like
Yeah.
really accurate. Like if you don't know much about Mormonism and you think there's no way that's true. Yeah, it probably is cuz just about everything in it was actually 100% accurate. Uh crazy.
Yeah.
Um
Well, it's kind of
yeah,
like The Simpsons
wild.
that predicted all these things, and then
Oh
South
god.
Park's just telling the truth about what's happening, and yeah, they all have their
Uh,
place.
yes, I suppose so. Hey, Neuro 42, good to see you. Uh, Charlie, this has been super fun. I'm so glad you came on. I
Thank you for
love
having me.
it. I love that your story is different than every other story that I've had. I love that you I'm so happy that that guy who told you that trans DJs become jungle DJs was right at least about you. That makes me happy because if you were still a trans DJ, we probably would not have met.
No,
And I'm glad we did. So, big ups to that guy for putting that out into the universe for you that you
I
would
can
have
remember his name.
a jungle a jungle DJ. There's nothing wrong with trance, Mike. It's just not my bag. I'm not involved in the trance community on Twitch, which I'm sure there is one, and I hope
Oh
it's
yeah.
thriving. I hope it's amazing. Hope everyone's having a great time. Um, okay, so shoot, yeah, I guess better find somebody to raid. Saturday, guys.
Deep.
My friend the West Dub will be on with me, and he's going to teach me about subgenres. That should be interesting for sure. Also, if you are interested in watching it, I'm gonna try and put it up on YouTube. I'm trying to get a YouTube thing together because I'm positive 100% that I'm gonna get muted for something that we play on Saturday. So yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, I found the
I,
key for
I'm
that. 30-year-old music.
Uh, you know, what's funny is as long as I've been doing this now, I still am really lousy at the raid part. It still apparently catches me by surprise every time. Like I haven't needed to find a raid every week. Um yeah. You know what, guys? Let's go visit Ed at the Boiler Kitchen today. Because uh we visited Distinct last time, so let's see, or Juice, one of them. Let's see let's see what old Ed is up to.
All right.
Stick around, guys, at least to say hi to Ed. He would appreciate that, I'm sure. And I know I would. Charlie, again, thank you. Thank you to
Thank you.
everyone that watched. I really do love all you guys. I love you too, Charlie. You're amazing. I'm so glad I know all of you. It just makes me unbelievably happy. I'm going to go ahead and put up the outro video, take us out. Y'all be good. Be good to yourselves, okay? Charlie, talk to you later. Thanks again.
Okay.
Okay, bye.